You know, I've directed a few features over the past three or 4 years. This was
Yeah.
the first feature under my production company banner, and my first screenplay.
Yes.
Um, so, and it came out of a bit of frustration. I work all the time. I do a lot of work, but sometimes I feel like I'm not,
Present.
really getting something I can bite,
Yeah.
sink my teeth into. And so I wanted to do that. At the same time, I wanted to create very specifically a thriller, and I wanted to create something that could be embraced commercially, by a very targeted audience. And so went about that, got that done. And from having directed some other films, I had some relationships with, some DPs, and one DP in particular, Troy Bakewell, who had 3 or 4 cinema packages, trailers and trucks, that
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
so, it's all about relationship, right? And so was able to pull this thing together. We had a wonderful, group of producers uh, who partnered with me, and we got this film done. We shot it in November in Atlanta. It was cold. We shot it around Thanksgiving, and we spent a good 6 months in post. Interestingly enough, our color correction was done in South Africa, as
Wow.
was our initial sound edit. Uh, yeah, and the fact our color correction was done by a white Afrikaner. Now,
Oh
and
wow.
I mention that because I'm looking at folks' reels,
Yes.
and this woman, I looked at her reel, and she had all of these black faces of different hues in her different projects, commercials, and what I said. Well, this lady understands black
Right.
skin tone,
Right. Right. Yeah. Hey, and people take that for granted. Yeah. Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that's an issue.
Yes.
First, if it's an issue for lighting
Yeah.
when you're shooting,
Yeah.
and then absolutely it's an issue in color correction and that
Absolutely.
and grading. And she did a wonderful job. Her name was Xana Berry. And then we brought the project back to the states, and did some sweetening in our sound edit and that sort of thing. Our editor was out of Alabama, a wonderful young man named Trey Miller. We had a great team, and so the goal was to make sure the production values were on point from the very beginning, and to make sure that the performances, what I prefer to call portrayals, were on point. Zaman Glasper, T. Denise Johnson, and some supporting actors did wonderful work. And I'm proud of the work. I certainly learned a lot in the midst of the work, and I'm ready to do it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.